Olá, sejam muito bem-vindos. Hoje o canal recebe uma das entidades mais complexas e respeitadas do metal mundial. Depois de um ato que deixou um vazio imenso no cenário, Nevermore está oficialmente de volta. E o que parecia impossível aconteceu. A arquitetura sonora de Jeff Loomis e a força rítmica de Van Williams encontraram um novo fôlego. Com uma nova formação, contando com Berzan Önen nos vocais, a banda escolheu o Brasil para iniciar esse novo capítulo, com apresentações históricas no Bangers Open Air e um sideshow exclusivo no Carioca Clube. Do peso visceral de The Politics of Ecstasy à perfeição técnica de This Godless Endeavor, vamos mergulhar agora nos detalhes dessa ressurreição, entender como o legado de Warrel Dane está sendo honrado e o que esperar do Nevermore em 2026. Com vocês, Jeff Loomis. Congratulations for the Nevermore comeback.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And I'm super excited about Nevermore. I saw some videos on YouTube and saw you guys playing together. It's so good to see you guys together again. I saw you Nevermore, of course, with Warrel Dane and Van and everyone for the first time back in the beginning of the early 2000s here in São Paulo,
Yeah.
and having the opportunity to see you guys together, even though Warrel Dane is not there, it's like
hmm
super something out of this world.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely took some doing, you know what I mean? It took a while to get everything fine-tuned to the way we liked it, to make sure that it was even going to be possible. You know what I mean? And that that happened with finding the right people to complete the job. And we had to audition quite a few people to make sure that we found the right people that could actually do it. So we're very, very fortunate that we have Mr. Berzan Önen on vocals, Mr. Semir Özerkan on bass, and Mr. Jack Cattoi on guitar. So these are the three new members, and of course, it's still me and Van on guitar and Van on drums. And yes, we just had our first show just a few days ago in Istanbul, and it went really, really well. The crowd was phenomenal. You know, they sang along to all the songs and really just made us feel welcome, you know. And now we're coming down to South America to do some more shows. So we're really, really excited. It's going
I'm
to be our first
so
time. Yeah, first
yes,
time
I'm
in
so excited.
Santiago. Yeah, so good
And
stuff.
I'm so excited. I saw the videos on YouTube and it is Nevermore. It's mind blowing.
Thank you. Yeah, it really is. It's I guess the initial talks back when Van and I first started talking about this was, can it be done? You know what I mean? And I think so. If you can find the right people that can, you know, perform the songs in the correct way, it can be done. We weren't looking for a Warrel Dane clone either. We were looking for somebody that could still sing the songs, but also had his own personal style. You know what I mean? So that's what we were looking for from the very beginning, and that's what I believe we found. And we're very happy.
It's super exciting to see Berzan singing songs from Dreaming Neon Black that is
hmm
such a different, it's so dark and it
Yeah.
has atmospheric textures. Um,
hmm
is the bleakness of Nevermore still a key element in 2026?
I think so. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff that Worrell wrote and composed back in the day, as far as lyrics and stuff like that. That, I mean, realistically, you could still look at those today and they would still be really relevant. You know what I mean? Because he was writing a lot about, you know, AI and stuff back then, even, and bleakness of the world, and all these other things, and like you had mentioned, that was just something that he was always interested in, and as far as carrying that over today, I mean, we're not a bunch of sad guys, you know what I'm saying? We love
Yeah.
music, and we love minor music and sadness in music, but are we going to carry that over completely to this day? No, you know what I mean? It's like we're going to still play the songs, of course, but maybe the new music will go in a different direction. We don't really know yet, you know what I mean? And I think that once the demos start coming together with new music, when that picture is painted, so to say, I think then the lyrics will eventually start coming together about what we want to talk about for new music. But yeah, I mean, there is elements of bleakness and sadness in the past, but that's just what we wrote about, Are we bleak and sad guys ourselves? No, not really. I mean, we're
Nah,
we're happy we're
never
happy
were.
dudes. Yeah,
Yeah,
happy
I
dudes that
know.
love to play music, you know what I mean? So but yeah, there you go.
And you've revolutionized the seven-string sound on Dead Heart in a Dead World. And now that you're working with Jack Cattoi, how has the wall of sound evolved? Are we moving towards the dirty and raw tone of
Mhm,
politics of ecstasy or the polished punch of
mhm.
the Andy Sneap era?
Yeah, I think that it's the core of the Nevermore sound is not ever really going to go away. You know what I mean? And I think
Mhm.
that the core, you could say that that would be me and Van. You know what I mean? Where we're writing in the style of Nevermore, and it's still holding its own weight there. But you know, I think when it comes down to longevity in bands, you'll always notice that everybody contributes. You know what I mean? Like a band like Rush, for instance, everybody's contributing something in that band. And we don't want to have Nevermore just be the Van and Jeff show. We want to have the other guys contribute as well. We want to have Berzan contribute lyrics. We want him to have contribute lyric melodies. We want Jack and Semir to contribute riffs. So will that change the core sound of Nevermore? I don't really think so. I think it's just going to add to the dynamic and make it cooler, because there's going to be other little elements of cool musical passages that are going to be available now, to use. And I think it's just going to be that much more interesting for the listener. You know what I mean? It'll still have the same core elements as it did back in the day, but it'll be new and interesting with a new vibe, so to speak. Um, and that's kind of what we're looking for the new Nevermore.
And one of my favorite tracks from all the Nevermore discography is Sentient number 6. And it is lyrical way is it's a criticism about AI and humanity. In a world now dominated by AI, does
Mhm.
Nevermore's lyrical focus feel more prophetic than ever? How is the new lineup tracking these man versus system themes?
Oh, well, yeah, Warrel wrote a lot about that back in the day, of course. And like I said before, it's still very relevant when you're reading those lyrics nowadays, isn't it? It's like, wow, this is where we've come. And I think it's come a lot faster than we anticipated as well. It's like all this stuff is happening so fast. Um, it's kind of frightening in a way. Are we really developing on that right now as a band? Not really. I mean, we're still trying to figure one another out. We had just met each other back in January for the first time when we started rehearsing. So that's when we got together to do that initial video that you saw with Ola England. But that was also the time that we spent with one another rehearsing the back catalog of all the Nevermore stuff. So we ended up actually learning 25 songs when we went
Wow.
to Sweden. Yeah, so we actually have enough for like two headlining sets that we can play that we've learned. But at the same
Wow.
time, yeah, we're kind of doing everything backwards right now because most bands come out, they show you what they show you who the new band is, and then they have a single and all that. we just kind of reformed the band, rehearsed all the old material, and then started scheduling live shows. So it's kind of backwards, right? And now we're just focusing on new music. So we're going to spend much of like May and June and July putting the new record together, and we're hoping like by the first quarter of like 27 we'll have new music done and ready for people to hear. If not, just like a new single at least. So that's what we're working on right now.
So cool. And
Yeah.
you guys are playing a solo show in São Paulo and also playing at a festival. You guys are doing the whole thing in Brazil and South America,
Yeah. Yeah, we
festivals
are.
and shows.
Yeah.
And uh,
Yeah.
why is the Brazilian audience, specifically in São Paulo, the right one to reactivate that energy after all these years?
Yeah, I just remembering back when we played there, like you had mentioned in the early 2000s, the crowd was just amazing for us back then, it's almost like what's happened since then? Is the crowd still going to be there for us? It's the big question mark, we think they are. And we think that there's been a certain buzz created too with our first show that we just did, that people now are realizing that we are truly back as a band. And we're just so excited to play down there, man. We just really are excited to pack up our gear, get down there and perform and just play all these old songs again, let everybody know that we're back as a unit and stronger than ever. And we're super stoked. Yeah.
And of course, you will have a dedicated show here in São Paulo. And
Hmm.
considering the underrated gem status of the politics of ecstasy, can we expect brutal or groovy, deeper cuts like the Tian Man or Next in Line that haven't been played in a long time?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Not perhaps, I mean, there's definitely cuts that we're going to be playing off those records. It's so hard, to always come up with a set list when you have a bigger back catalog like that to make all the fans happy. Um, but, we definitely want to bring back like B cuts like that you had just mentioned, like Tiananmen Man and Next in Line for like future tours. But, now that you mentioned Next in Line, maybe I'll talk to the guys and see if we can maybe play that number.
Wow.
That's one of my
I,
favorite tracks too. Yeah, I like that track quite a bit. That's really cool. We haven't played that one in a while for sure. But
yes, it's
yeah.
even when you guys came in the early 2000s, it was one I was expecting, and
Oh,
you
oh,
guys
and
did
we
not
didn't
play
play
that
it
one.
back then. Okay. Okay, we'll keep that one in mind then.
Well,
For you.
final word. If you could describe the vibe of Nevermore in 2026 using only one album title from your past as a reference, which one would you be and why?
Dreaming Neon Black, man, because, I'd never dream in a million years that we could come back with a band this strong and be able to play these songs again. I was really questioning this like a few years ago even, and now that it's a reality, there's another one I could use, enemies of reality, right? But now that it's a reality, the dreams have all come true, and I think we all collectively feel so much more confident now too that we have that first show out of the way, and we feel like we can really do this and perform as a band and just come back as strong as hell, and just do what we do best.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for this interview. It means a lot to me because
Absolutely.
it's like a super experience having you guys together again. And thank you
Thank you.
so much for the time. And yeah, see you here in São Paulo soon.
See you soon, man. We are looking forward to it.